No one's coming. No one. No one's coming to push you. No one's coming to tell you to turn the TV off. No one's coming to tell you to get out the door and exercise. Nobody's coming to tell you to apply for that job that you've always dreamt about. Nobody's coming to write the business plan for you. It's up to you.
You look at your life, you look at what you produce. Is it giving you what you want? Are you living on purpose? Are you living your dream? Are you acting on your ideas? Are you doing all you can do? Have you gotten comfortable? Are you procrastinating? Are you evading your own greatness? Are you surrounding yourself with people that can nourish you? Are you challenging yourself? Are you experimenting? Are you learning something different? Is your life an adventure or is it boring? Where have you been?
You guys need to understand what you don't have to do. You don't have to work hard. You don't have to eat right. You don't have to sleep right. You don't have to do more than what's required of you. You don't have to be a good teammate. You don't have to be a good leader. You don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. But you also don't have to win. You don't have to be a success in life. You don't have to help your team win. You don't have to play. So the greatest things in life take sacrifice and discipline. And that's why so few people achieve great things. Because they don't want to sacrifice. They don't want to discipline for something greater. So you see all these people that have great things in life that you look up to, it's because they were sacrificed and disciplined long before you ever knew them.
You can be world class, you can fit in with the world, you don't get to do both. If you want to have the results only 5% of the population has, you've got to be willing to think and behave like only 5% of the population. And if you do these kinds of things, the world will call you eccentric. This is where you got to develop the interior core, where it doesn't matter if people call you crazy. One of the things limiting you from your income, your impact, a world-class life. You care too much about what people think about you. Sounds really obvious. Everyone has an opinion. Why let the opinions of other people deny you from a life that will make history?
Everybody wants destiny. Everybody wants manifestation. Everybody wants fulfillment. Everybody wants the next level in the relationship and a higher quality of living. But nobody wants to eliminate distractions. Nobody wants to disappear for 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, and eliminate all distractions and get into a place where you can focus on just you. What if you could just shut out every distraction? What if you could just shut out the world for just a season and focus on you?
When you're in the car, turn off that motherfucking radio. Be in your thoughts. Ask yourself, why is it that you do what you do? Ask yourself, why do you wake up in the morning and do what you do? Why is it that you pursue the goals and the dreams that you pursue? Have these conversations. Be comfortable in your own skin. If you're uncomfortable, ask yourself, why is it that you're experiencing these things? Ask, why is it that you are in a situation where you don't like to be by yourself? Because if you are with yourself, it doesn't mean you have to be lonely. You don't need other people. Because when you're on your deathbed, nobody's going to be there. It's just you, yourself, figuring out, did I live a successful life? Did I do what I say I was going to do? You can't point fingers. You can't say, oh, because this person said this or this person said that. No. You're fully accountable for your life. And when it's all said and done, it's all up to you. So why not live that way?
I look in the fucking audience, and these people sign up, and every year go to convention, thinking they're gonna learn something fucking different. No, you're lazy. You know exactly what to do. Because even me, in my state of, I can't read and write, I knew exactly what to do. It just sucks doing it. It sucks to do it. It sucks to wake up every morning of your life and say, God, man, I'm not smart. So guess what I gotta do? I gotta study the same that I got one of the highest scores in the nation on, and do it again.
Sometimes you take a leap forward and you learn some things, but you can't catalyze a new identity. So you try to go back and hide in your old identity. And that actually doesn't work because, well, things have changed and you've learned something and that isn't who you are anymore. And so it's like you have to cut parts of yourself off in a destructive manner to fit back into the person that you were. One of the times in your life when you actually realize that you're an individual is when you'll go and ask your parents something and you'll realize they actually don't know any more about what you should do than you do. And that sucks. And that's partly why people are often willing to maintain a tyrant-slave relationship with their father. It's like, on the one hand, you have to be inferior in a relationship like that. You know, you've always got the judge watching you. But on the other hand, there's always someone who knows what to do. There's always someone standing between you and the unknown that you can go ask, what should I do? Well, at some point, you'll realize that the reason you can't ask that anymore is because they actually don't know any more than you do. And then that's a pain, like that is a symbolic death. And that's also when you establish a more individual relationship with your parents. It's at that point that you could conceivably start taking care of them instead of the reverse. And that's a time that should come. But you have to let that image of perfection go. And that exposes you.
There's no fucking passion. There's no fucking motivation. It's every day of your life just doing. No passion. No discipline, no motivation. All these words, I hate that so many people fucking use these words now because it's watered. It's someone sitting in a room by themselves and they figure themselves out and say, God, this is gonna fucking suck. Where's passion when you're 300 pounds? Where's the motivation when you can't read and write? Where is it? So how did this happen? I just fucking did. I just did. I said, maybe at the end of this journey, there'll be something there for me. If not, I can read. If not, I'm 185 fucking pounds. There's no magic potion. There's no, let me wake up and look at some. No, all those words are overused. They're bullshit. It's all bullshit. Just do. You're living. How do you want to live? How do you want to die? How do you want to fucking be remembered? That's it. That's it. Period.
I've been asked the following questions. How is it possible to be the greatest? How is it possible to have great wealth, power, income, or influence? How do you get self-respect or respect from others? The answer is, he that wishes to be the greatest, let him find a way to serve the many. So the key is enlightened self-interest, which means in order to have what I want to achieve in the fullness of my life, I must find ways to serve. Sometimes you know and sometimes you don't. It all depends. People look back and say, I spent too much money and time on that project. So that's part of your education on how to make better decisions. If it's a high drama decision, you might have to get away to think. There's an interesting phrase in the Bible that says every once in a while you should enter your closet and shut the door. Not necessarily to shut yourself in, but to shut everything out for a while. For me, sometimes the best time to make a decision is to get away from the noise, the traffic, and the family. Not that you don't love everybody and all the activity, but sometimes during decision making, you've just got to get away. One of my best ways to do that was to ride my dirt bike on the jute trails, up on top of the mountains in Northern California when I lived up there. It was a great place to shut the door on everything and have some quiet time to think things over. I think you have to understand the difference between your intuitive and reasoning factors, because you're dealing with vibration. You're saying, go to your closet, your sanctum sanctorum, go to the quiet place within, because that's where the message is coming from. The answer comes with the question. It's being tuned in enough to hear it. It comes in the form of vibration, and your intuitive factor picks up the vibration. However, there's a difference between the vibration that's set up by your thinking and the intuitive factors giving you your answer. I think you can be quiet in a crowded subway, but you've got to be able to block out what's going on outside and go inside. And if you do that, you'll know whether or not you're making the right decision. Your intuitive factor never lies. It's spirit talking to you. And the question and the answer are one and the same. It's like I always say, a rhetorical question without an answer is a statement. It's like having an inside of a room without having an outside. It's the law of opposites. I think you have to train yourself. I've been doing it for a long time, and there aren't many people who've been doing it longer than I have. I work at studying the difference between thought vibration and intuition. You'll get to where you can tell the difference, as it's an inner knowing. Part of it's taking a chance. To go into any enterprise is to know how to get in, then you have to think how to get out. I met Neil Armstrong, the first man on the moon, and he said, "Going to the moon, all you had to do was solve two problems. The first was how to get there. The second was how to get back. Make sure you don't leave till you've solved both problems." Figuring things out for myself, the very early part of life is how you walk and talk, how you relate, and how you get what you want, which is the game of life. Trying to understand myself, to grow as fast as possible, to comprehend early instead of late was my greatest obstacle. But I found a way at age 25 how to accelerate my education with the right mentor and made my fortune fairly quickly. I've lost, made, and lost a few fortunes since then. I saw a cartoon about a 12-year-old boy with a little angel on one shoulder and a little devil on the other, and both were whispering in his ears. The little devil said, "Go ahead and do it. It'll be okay." And the little angel said, "No, no, no. What was that little voice you heard this morning? You're running a little late. You don't have to do your exercises today." Well, that happens every day as we're all tempted. The light turns red and you have to make a decision whether to run it because you're running late or to be on the side of caution and wait. As Abraham Lincoln said, "We listen to the better angels of our nature so our life will have more order and success." The difference between a professional and an amateur is if they lose a close game, the amateur probably lets it affect him forever. For the professional, it only lasts a few minutes and they say, "Tomorrow night we'll run them off the court." But the amateur lets it linger and linger. I knew I was getting better when my reaction time was better and faster to some of my losses. And I was saying, "I shall recover." It's like Napoleon Hill said, there's a difference between wishing for a thing and being ready to receive it. Nobody's ready for the thing, so they believe they can acquire it. And then the secret is that they don't submit to failure. The amateur submits to the failure. The successful person believes they just made a mistake. Probably the biggest challenge is golf. You make a bad shot. Because you can't wait 30 minutes to do your next play. Recovery time has got to be almost right away to put it in its place. It's like losing a child. I don't know what that's like. It's never happened to me. But you have to find a place to put it. It's going to affect you the rest of your life, but it shouldn't destroy your life. I'd go for the need in the marketplace. Someone said, "To be successful, find a great human need. Second, find the answer to that need. And third, take the quality and quantity of service to as many people as you can reach in your lifetime." So that's pretty simple. There are some things you can do extremely well and not be passionate about. You can get very rich and not necessarily find your passion, what really turns you on. You find a job, fill a need, do it extremely well, and fortune is waiting for you. But it may not be high-energy passion that does it. It's just the simple knowledge of how to acquire something, render enough service to get it done, and inspire enough people to be successful. And you can become successful yourself.